Will robots create a future of abundant wealth? Or will they doom us to a science fiction dystopian future? I'm not sure. But the engineers at Boston Dynamics sure are building robots that can at once entrance, amaze, and terrify. Who created the company? How did they go from a basement in MIT and grow into one of the world's leaders in graceful robotics? And what kind of future is Boston Dynamics building? Over the past few years, it seems all anyone can focus on is AI. But did you know that advancements in machine learning and large language models have actually allowed engineers to create robots that are more capable than ever before? That's what Boston Dynamics has been doing for a while, using machine learning to teach metal and wires how to move as gracefully as it can. But even though the mental part of it is important, it's the hardware that seems to be the biggest challenge, at least for now. And it's in that challenge that Boston Dynamics excels. Its robots have gone viral for a reason. They're graceful, elegant, and pleasing to watch. They move naturally, as opposed to other robots that feel stiff and rigid. Instead of machines, they look like creatures with their own dynamic personalities. It's hard not to personify them, especially when their most popular models, Atlas and Spot, move in ways that are so lifelike.
So I think one of the things, certainly in the early years for me, taking a dynamic approach where you think about what's the evolution of the motion of the thing going to be in the future and having a prediction of that that's used at the time that you're giving signals to it, as opposed to it all being servoing, which is servoing is sort of backward looking. It says, okay, where am I now? I'm gonna try and adjust for that. But you really need to think about what's coming.
That's Mark Rybert, the man who founded Boston Dynamics in 1992 out of MIT's Leg Lab while he was a professor there, working with Robert Plater to create some of the most agile robots the world has ever seen. So let's get into their creations. Big Dog was one of the company's first major projects, a quadruped developed for the US military as a pack mule in 2005. At the time, it was one of the most advanced walking robots, able to traverse uneven terrain and carry heavy payloads, although it was never actually deployed. Boston Dynamics went through a number of other projects, from Cheetah, a fast-moving quadruped that could reach a top speed of 28 miles an hour, to Petman, their first anthropomorphic robot that could move like a person, and tons of other experiments like Alpha Dog, Little Dog, Sandflea, and Rise. But in 2013, they released their first version of Atlas, which has evolved throughout the years to become one of the most agile robots humanity has ever developed, capable of running, doing parkour, backflips, and moving objects. In 2016, they released Spot Mini, a small quadruped that developed into Spot, their first commercially available product, which became leasable in 2019. And as the company has gone through many different prototypes, it's also gone through a series of acquisitions. First in 2013 by Google X, then it was sold to SoftBank in 2017, and more recently in 2021, Hyundai took a controlling stake that valued the company at $1.1 billion. Even though Boston Dynamics makes pretty cool robots, and they're backed by some pretty powerful companies, they're facing increasing pressure in an industry that has been completely exploding these past few years. Tesla is now building their own robots. Figure has been doing some really cool stuff when it comes to AI and robots learning how to manipulate their environments. And the Chinese company Unitree has a pretty advanced humanoid robot that you can pick up for less than a new car. All this is pretty exciting if you're into robotics like me, but it can also feel pretty overwhelming. What type of society are we trying to build with all of these robots? As these machines start to enter the workforce, how will we work with them? And will this technology ultimately help us to create a better future, or will it lead us down a potentially darker path? Ghost Robotics is a company that builds quadrupeds for the US military, and their robot can be equipped with a rifle. It's not really a revolutionary idea, but it does seem like only a matter of time until robots are used in militaries across the world. That's not really the future I want to live in, and it's not what Boston Dynamics has in mind either. They've signed a pledge to never put weapons on their robots, and they urge other companies to do the same. But regardless, it opens up a powerful question. Will robots improve society, or will it lead to more surveillance, more power in the hands of the few, and a world that feels less human? I'm not sure, honestly, but I'd like to hear what you think down in the comments. I'm going to be making videos all about technology, media, and the ways in which our world is changing. So if that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.